Hello and welcome to the One People Show. Hello and welcome everyone to this week's One People Roundtable with myself and Danny, as per usual. And do we just start with the witch is dead? No.
The wicked witch is dead! Yay! Everyone, yes, there's a party going on all over the world. David Rockefeller's dead. Everyone's partying. And I'm thinking of selling tickets for everyone to go dance on his grave. If we figure out where he's going to be laid to rest, we can have a little dance party, charge an admission. Definitely help us fund Unfucker Island.
I hate to think of the depths of hell that guy would be laid to rest.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Nick made a little meme that said, basically it was his picture that said there's going to be a pig roast tonight in hell. Yeah. But I have to show you this. It was across all the news, but there was one that caught my eye, and that is Reuters. So just give me a second, I'll pull it up. Because, you know, of all the pictures they could have chosen, it's a picture of Rockefeller shaking the hand of Nelson Mandela. Did you find that interesting?
I do.
I mean, they could have been pictures of him shaking hands with Bill Clinton or Obama or Donald Trump or the Queen Elizabeth or the Pope. It could anyone, but they chose a picture of him shaking hands with Nelson Mandela.
Is that a clue that this is only going to be the first time he dies?
That's basically what we're saying. Tomorrow he'll be alive, and the day after he'll be dead. And the day after that he'll be alive, and then next week he'll be dead. I don't know. That tickled my fancy. That was just one of those things. Oh, interesting choice of picture.
It is an interesting choice of picture. There's plenty of him around.
Like I said, he shook hands with everyone, including the Pope, including Queen Elizabeth.
Oh, is there another rumor around her too? Did she die too?
It's a fake. It was a fake Guardian website. It was a fake. It was sent. I had like 20 of them sent to me instantaneously, and Your Newswire, whatever, was running with the story again. I'm like, oh God, please, guys. Okay. Just because Rockefeller's dead, let's spread them out. We can celebrate next week. I'm good for. We can pencil her in for next week. Okay.
Bit of housekeeping first and foremost, because there's a bit of confusion around a couple of things. People are a bit lost. We make reference to UU Room, LMH members, and unfuckers, and people are not sure what's what and where to find it and all that stuff.
Yes.
UU Room and Unfuckers Unite is the same thing. It's a Facebook group that Dee started in 2015, and you won't find it if you do a search in Facebook because it's not searchable, but you just need to find friends with someone who's in there and they can bring you in, and if you're not friends with anyone in there, you just send Dee a friend request and you can be added to the room. So that's what
but I'm getting highly edited by Facebook, so I have a lot of shit goes into my spam folder, so I try hard. That's all I can say.
And LMH Members is a membership site that I launched in September. That's completely separate. You can get to it from my regular website, which is just the lisam harrison.com, or you can go straight there at lmhmembers.com, and that's a subscription website. So you can have a look at that. But UU is just obviously a free Facebook group, which has got like 1,800 people in it at the moment. Something like that.
Yeah, it's over 1,800 people. We passed 1,800 people, I don't know, in this weekend. And I was just like, how did that happen? Fuck.
So is that all clear? That's pretty clear, isn't it?
Yeah, and you cannot search it on Facebook. This is the big one, okay? Because people search for Unfuckers, and there's a couple of fake Unfuckers Unite groups on Facebook.
Oh, there's at least one left.
You can't find the one that we're talking about. You have to either contact me. Yeah, at least one of them's gone. But the other one is they find the Unfuckers Gathering.
Linda Moulton Howe.
Which is also my group, but it's where we're planning the Unfuckers Gathering. What was that?
What do you mean, Zero? Apparently Linda Moulton Howe goes by the LMH as well, which is funny.
Okay, that's funny. I never even would have put that one together either.
Neither did I.
No, the Expectus stuff is gone. All the Expectus Facebook groups, I believe, are gone. The blog is gone. The articles are gone. The videos are gone.
Zaina, I was on there this morning.
I'll talk to you about that afterwards, right?
Well, yeah, Zero, when they go to, if you go to land on the front page of LMH, you'll see it tells you everything that the membership includes. So they can just have a read. Okay. God, I'm actually loath to say it. What an interesting week.
But
oh my God.
What an interesting fucking week. Hold on.
I got it.
Good, because my Facebook is doing its usual freeze dance, so. What an interesting week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even know where to start, to be honest with you.
Everyone's losing their shit. People are making themselves very visible.
Yeah.
And everyone's losing their shit. Did I already mention that everyone's losing their shit?
May have mentioned it.
I think so.
Okay, so I want to start with you actually. Not that you're losing shit, but you posed the question.
Am I in trouble?
No. You posed the question. A lot of the narratives that are out have changed. Now it's all constructs, from what I'm seeing. Right? Everyone's talking about it being a construct now, except for, although even George Kavasilis has incorporated the construct concept. However, it's still the planetary mother. It's still the consciousness that we live on. It's still, not letting go of that part. But so I don't really understand how the two go together. But the general theme seems to be everyone's on board with, oh my God, it actually is a construct there, and that it's about to.
Yeah, so I put that in the Unfuckers room, and it was kind of interesting. And specifically, I was asking about channeled messages, because I don't really follow the channeled messages at all anymore. One or two, if they come by me, that, and I asked, because it felt to me that I've seen a few coming by in the last couple of months, that instead of what we were kind of overwhelmed with in 2012, 2013, which is Galactic Federation's coming to rescue you, Archangels are coming to rescue you, Ascended Masters are coming to rescue you, la 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 la. Now, it's changed. And I mean, there's still some of that. Sheldon Idle is still putting out Sheldon Idle stuff, right?
Has he just been reposting the same blog post and the same article for 25 years? Does he just press repost every couple of weeks?
I don't know. rewords it, I think. It's hard to tell sometimes, though.
Okay. Okay, something is going on with the connection at the moment. It's shocking. There does appear to be some interference on the line, which hardly surprises me based on the week I've had. But
what are you getting? Is it?
oh, I'm getting all kinds of crap noises coming out of my computer at the moment.
Yeah, delightful.
I don't know, Maria. Maybe. Yeah. So sorry. Continue.
I was just saying that was kind of the focus of it. That there's been a real shift in the vast majority, or at least enough to be quite noticeable, that savior meme, and they're still out there obviously, but it's shifted. And it's instead of being like, you're going to ascend, you're going to be taken away in ships, you're going to go into inner earth, you're going to go into, I don't know, ascension fucking chambers. Now it's yeah.
Oh, I forgot about ascension chambers.
Yeah, ascension. Oh, come on! How could you forget
the
yeah, the Russians are hacking your computer, Lisa. It's the Russians. Yeah, it's interesting that back 2013, there was nobody that I noticed, anyways, at the time, who was talking about the simulation theory, the Earth is a construct, that it's an experiment. I mean, well, we talked about that back in like 2013. We talked about the whole concept of the experiment, that this reality was an experiment. But even then, we weren't talking about construct, as in completely, for lack of a better word, fake. I shouldn't use that term, but now it's everywhere. And the mainstream is really present, which is kind of interesting. There was another article again today that was basically again on that construct meme idea.
So is it just that reality is being revealed, truth is being revealed, so everyone's starting to realise the same thing? Or, oh, wow. Okay. Sorry, the noise, the feedback that I'm getting is insane. I'm going to make you host. Is that a good idea, or should I make someone else?
And you're going to leave it and come back?
Yeah.
Give it, is John here?
Yeah, he's here.
Yeah, I hear him. Okay, John, can you make John host? Just because my internet is like a little like this tonight too. Are you going to leave and come back?
Yes, I shall do that.
I kind of figured you would always do that. Well, I got another little topic I want to talk about.
Well, don't do it until I come back, because otherwise I'll miss it on the recording. Don't say anything until I return.
Oh shit. Scrolling.
I'm good.
Hit record.
I did.
No. Okay. So I have to admit, when I see the mainstream media talking about this concept, mainstream science journals writing articles about it, etc., it makes me sit there and have this moment of like, oh, wait a second, is there something we're missing here? Do you kind of like that? I had that when I read the article today, Lise, after we did the AI symposium, and we got all that feedback that was so positive that we went, oh, we did something wrong. What the fuck did we do? I had that this morning when I read, there was a Wall Street Journal article, and there was another mainstream one that had come out within the last week. And it was like, oh, wait a second. They're just talking about this a little too easily. Shit am I missing something into this? Or is it a case that things have just gotten so transparent now that even they can't cover it up? And it's almost like they are feeling the push that they have to get this information out there to try and, I don't know, spin doctor it? And is that why they're putting out this information? Kind of trying to get ahead of it, at least?
Yeah, that's certainly a possibility. I mean, they co-opt every narrative that comes up.
And that's what I mean, Karamia. Karamia just said, are they trying to own it? Yeah, and that's what I mean by spin doctoring it. If they put this information out, all the crackpot, conspiracy theorists, no one will listen to. But if they can put their stamp on it, then is that their hope, that they can spin it to their advantage, that they can twist it into their own agenda?
Well, I think that's a lot of what the whole Antarctica stuff was all about too. It's putting a twist on it. I mean, there was a few of us last year who kind of remote viewed down there and saw intense negotiations going on.
Uh-huh.
And that was just prior to Wilcock coming out and Good coming out with the impending disclosure that hasn't actually happened yet. So, and then we've had, I know you've had other say the same thing, that there has been negotiations.
People separate from us who are not, working with the different doings, et cetera, who have come forward and talked about the fact that some of the stuff that they saw when they went to view Antarctica was very, very similar to what we've seen in the last few months. Almost, yeah.
But you know what else? NASA's also, not NASA as in an official statement for NASA, but individuals within NASA who currently work for NASA and who are talking about this program and that program and this whatever, have made statements over the last 12 months that confirm things like, statements like, we're still trying to get past the Van Allen belt.
Yep.
We're still trying to get out of, we think this device, whatever our latest tinfoil thing that we've built, will be able to get past the upper atmosphere.
Yeah.
Shit like that. And then at the same time, we've got rovers on Mars. And we went to the moon. And these contradictory statements are just, I say, what? You're working on something now to still get you through the Van Allen belt safely? Huh? And these are statements that have come out just in the last 12 months.
Yep.
And it's almost like, again, we're running with, like we talked about last week, with not the Mandela effects as such, but multiple timelines running simultaneously with different narratives on them. So in one, we went to the moon, and in one, we're still working on getting past the Van Allen belt.
And in one, we populated Mars.
Oh, yes.
There's no words. There's no words. And quantum computers and DNA computers and programs written on atoms and
the Kubrick timeline.
Yeah, the Kubrick timeline. Nice. I like that. It's got a nice ring to it. We should definitely stick with that one. This is the Kubrick timeline.
But when I say it's been a weird week, and I want to know how many of you guys are experiencing this in your personal lives. Now, I've got my perspective on it based on what I've been doing and what I'm seeing as evidence for myself in terms of what I've been doing. But you guys might have a completely different take on it. But the members at the LMH members site and I get together a couple of times a week. And one of the things we do is the collective imagination call, which is, again, you know, coming together and collectively doing. And we have been, a certain energy, I could say, caught our attention. And we tracked it and dealt with it. And it appears that what we've seen is an immediate response from this energy, acting like a cornered animal and lashing out. So how many of you are experiencing people in your lives who have just done a flip?
I know of at least one in the Unfuckers room who posted this morning about exactly that.
There's either fear, accusations at you, leveled at you, about dark energies or evil, or, you know, and they're getting really scared. Or there's an arrogance, and I know everything kind of arrogance. Okay, quite a few of you have yeah, okay.
Yes, Arca. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard about it.
Only online, for one. Oh, God, really, Zane? Sorry about that. Okay, someone else has got a friend who's noticing the dark energy and is getting scared. Yeah, from people you know that just seem to have changed almost overnight. And they're directing all this stuff at you. No, all very normal here in London. Yes, Friday.
The other thing has been the flips of even people's moods just flipping on and off, on and off, on and off, like just suddenly being angry, suddenly being really aggressively angry, or suddenly being really, really sad, or suddenly being really, really depressed. And it's very sudden, and it's kind of like there's no trigger. I've seen a lot of that in the last 4 days. Like, and just even in conversations I've seen from other friends of mine, just on Facebook, not even from the Unfuckers room, but actually other people out there.
Sorry, I've got noise in my background. There's a truck pulled up or something out front. Is that really horrible?
I can't hear it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, everyone, there's a lot of stuff, people going on.
Oh, okay, and the emotional stuff, like being overwhelmed. This is to you guys, if you're going through this overwhelm of sadness and grief. Anyone getting that? Yep. Okay. Oh, there's a lot of yeses.
Holy shit.
It doesn't last, usually.
For me, it's been anger. Like, that's been my trigger, is I'm so easy, like, and noise. It's gotten worse and worse and worse, my noise sensitivity. And now it's to the point, like, the noises, and I don't know, maybe it's the fact that I've been living in, like, fucking construction zone for so long that background noise is just finally eating away at my last brain cell. But I'm just like this. Like, there's noises. Someone drops a pot lid on the floor, and it's like my head blows off. My instant thing is like, and well, that has been the last week. Like, just every loud noise makes me.
From what I'm from where I'm sitting, there's multiple things going on. Now, you and I have been talking about integrating fractals of yourselves for a couple of years now. And so just based on this theory that the Mandela effect is all of these timelines collapsing and we're integrating those fractals of ourselves that were on those timelines, right?
Yeah.
And now we're down to the wire. The next integration that's happening is with us and our bigger selves. And that can be physical. If you've been feeling what starts as like pressure around the head, if you resist it, it gets worse. But if you kind of allow it, you can feel it drop in. And it is literally like the bigger part of you is coming in, stepping in. But it can be a little bit painful, and it can be a bit of an emotional roller coaster ride. So that seems to be going on. Separate to that, there is this grief thing, which feels like, and not everyone, I don't think everyone's going to experience this, because you know how we talk about, or everyone talks about really, that there's the originals who were here at the time the construct was hijacked, and then there's all these waves of volunteers, you know, all the waves of people who have come in from elsewhere. So if you're one of the originals who were here when it all happened, there's a certain, you know, you've got a history there that you're going to go, that you're sort of processing, that you wouldn't, that the volunteers won't. They're going to have a different set of issues to work through. So I think a lot of that grief, that overwhelming grief and sadness and all of that, is something that the originals are experiencing. Letting go of how this all came out in the first, how this all went down in the first place. And then we've got this energy that's fighting back. And that's rather unpleasant to have to deal with.
Can you, without going into details, just define it a little bit better? Because I know
the energy I'm talking about, or?
Yeah, like just if you could, because otherwise it's very, very kind of, it could be anything. Anyone can kind of, I just want you, because I know.
I didn't want to name the energy because.
No, not name it, but you know what I mean? Like just give a little bit more of a concept of what you mean by just.
I don't know.
I'm not trying to put you on this. Okay, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, Lisa. I'm sorry. I know. I can't. How do you define that?
All right. Who follows Cobra?
Not me.
No.
Fuck no. Try pick another one.
But doesn't Cobra mean compression breakthrough?
I think that was. Okay, hang on. Now maybe he did mean to. Sorry, Nick. Did you? You've got your hand up. Were you hoping to say something?
I can't hear you.
You were talking about a completely different subject.
Yeah.
Someone else.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's funny. The Cobra question I was expecting a long time ago, because I actually found out that means it's supposed to mean compression breakthrough.
What's
I don't know if you were aware of that. That's what COBRA stands for. The CO and the BRA. It's like an acronym for the word compression.
What does that mean?
That's been his shtick since the beginning, since 2012. Like when he started Portal 2012 or whatever.
Yeah.
That was what it, like his initial thing. Like, yeah, it's been a whole bunch of weird.
Oh, that was
crazy
breakthrough. Reading
like, levels that we're talking about. like I thought it was weird because I figured that out right about the time that we were talking about, like all the Mandela effects, and then like coming down a level and things seemingly compressing again, and then breaking down a level from then again, like, and I thought it was strange that like that's kind of been his or whatever their message, but I don't know. Their message gets lost, I think, sometimes because it's so cryptic.
Are you saying compression breakthrough is like the Mandela effect is the outward expression of what he's calling the compression breakthrough?
Yeah,
I think the end game, like like the quote, like what every post of his kind of leans toward is that moment of compression breakthrough where it's that moment where we're still kind of talking about it, right? Where either we all kind of have some kind of thing that's turned on at the same time, or we all kind of
the event
might be happening. Yeah, and it's happening now, right? We're all kind of switching on at our own perfect times, right? And as we're kind of like wrestling through like these negative energies, like, and it's weird because it's funny because the negative energy that I think of like we're talking about, we talked about like a couple months ago, the last time I actually called in, and like we were talking about like spiritual judo and ways of dealing with that energy, accepting it, and kind of using like neutral a place of neutrality to kind of let it pass through you, or accept and redirection, which is more of like a judo aikido type way of going about it. And I believe I said last time when I called in that you just kind of got to treat it like a 5-year-old, recognize it for what it is, and when it tries to essentially get inside you to kind of prod you to do things, you kind of have to, like, that's your discernment, that's your recognition right there, that you're feeling it and that you can see it. But even though some of us see it, it's sometimes hard to resist whatever it is that's being pushed on you. Like, so, like remote influencing, right, is like where you can have, say, a person behind you and they'll like lead you to some secret object that's been put in like an envelope, right? And we all know that influence can be given from anywhere, right? And I feel like it's just one of those things where you're either getting more and more discerning of finding out and like kind of tuning into yourself to figure out when that energy is being directed to you. And then it's up to you again to kind of make that action and kind of check your soul, to take very careful action about what you're going to do. Because the one thing what I raised my hand for, what I really kind of wanted to get at was something I don't think we really talked about yet, where it's like, it's addiction and the various levels of addiction that we kind of have, like we, say for example, someone who, is addicted to alcohol, like, and, they're on the same trip as we are, they're not fucker, they're here on the edge with us, but, they still hear that voice, they still get that thing inside of them, and it's like, hey, it's okay today, like, and sometimes, depending on the person's mood or how long they've been worked, that resistance can be like low. I feel like it can be low. And I just wanted to kind of bring up that thing for people to kind of watch what they're watch their addictions. People know what their addictions are, and those are like the easiest switches to flip. And I just kind of wanted to say that just as.
I'm going to have to ask Dee to repeat because it looks like she heard what you said, but I really wasn't hearing much of anything. You really garbled.
Yeah.
It's just
it's really, really hard. I was having a hard time following you as well. Nick, I'm sorry. I don't know if it was the the internet. Like, I don't know if it's my internet, but I'm having a very hard time hearing you.
Hey, Dee. Let me say, he was talking about addiction, and he said that for some people, you know, they could start moving in a spiritual direction, but then have certain things happen to them in their lives that put them in a weak moment where they kind of, you know, they struggle and they go back and forth, versus like some people have a spiritual awakening at a moment's notice, like kind of what happened to me, and it's gone. So that's what he was talking about, the differences, and that's what I took it to me. So
Thanks, Dawn. Yeah, I actually do know a few people who have had a spiritual awakening, and all, you know, hardcore drug addictions for 10 years just went away overnight.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. There's a few.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to.
It's just the easiest. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for letting me talk. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay.
So thank you, Nick.
Also, one more thing is that I've noticed after years and years that, and it may sound weird, but they quote turn it up on like Sundays. Like I feel it strongest on Sundays, like period, like all the time. Like that was just a little thing to add.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For ages, Lisa and I had a running joke about, okay, it's Sunday. What's going to change? Here we go. Are you ready? Here it goes.
Well, it's the one day
So,
most people have
I just
off
want
to relax. So, yeah, amp it up.
Yeah, to turn around and actually breathe enough to be able to notice what the fuck's going on around them.
Okay, so my question.
So, yeah, can you start with the Cobra?
Yeah. Well, Cobra put out an article recently. Well, he's been putting it out as a series of updates about the Yaldabaoth character, which is the octopus.
Yaldabaoth.
Tentacled octopus. And he's been saying that, you know, tentacle 1 and 2 have been removed, and tentacle 3 and 4 have been removed, and stuff like that, right?
I saw, okay, is that him? That came by on my news feed about a week and a half ago, and I was like, it's a fucking octopus, and they've got like little tentacles, and I have no idea what this is supposed to have anything about.
Well, it's Yaldabaoth. So in satanic worship, Yaldabaoth is a character that they all worship, pray to, whatever, beseech, in the hope that he will grant them worthy, because he's the keeper of all knowledge. And if he deems you worthy, you will impart that knowledge. But apparently it sends most people stark raving mad. But that's I mean, the funny thing was, I didn't even know this thing actually existed in any way, shape or form. This is all news to me. Until certain energies, and that's where it led. So after my first confrontation with it, and it was certainly alive and well, so to speak, it was then brought to my attention that Cobra just the day before brought out that, oh no, it's all taken care of. So, oh, okay, that's not what I saw. So that's the energy I'm referring to. And it's all code, again. So there's all these people who are apparently lost.
Okay, so Yaldabaoth, I always reverse those. Yaldabaoth, whatever. That's also in the Gnostic texts, right? So the Apocryphal of John is all Yaldabaoth. Thank you. See that? I can't even speak the word, let alone, yeah. And I heard of it as referred to an octopus before. Until you brought that up, I had never heard of that reference of it as like a mental image of an octopus.
Yeah,
I don't
know where that imagery came. Well, that's how it was presented. But It has many names and can be found in all sorts of law. But it's just a projection. It's not, I mean, it's because it changes once you see past that. And it's, okay, without trying to scare anybody, because it's not scary, because again, it's code. This is my experience. So this is how it presents to me. It did present as an octopus at first, but it ultimately is a code and is the source of black goo, which also is just code, but it presents as black goo. Is this making sense? But it's the little black goo factory. Like squid ink, exactly. But if you don't get too freaked out and see past the black goo part of it, it's just code. But it presents itself as this scary, ugly bullshit. So that's what we're talking about. Is that making any more sense? No, it has no power. Yes, it is the mind parasite and the infection.
And my internet connection is unstable. Yay.
Yeah, that new movie Arrival, they look a little bit like squiddy, jellyfishy, octopusy things, don't they?
Yeah, I like octopi. I've always loved octopi. I think they're some of the most amazing creatures in the ocean. Freaking awesome.
Release the Kraken.
Release the Kraken. Someone posted a picture. I can't even remember where I saw it. And it's a guy, and all you see is a guy holding his finger up like this, and there's a teeny, tiny octopus on the end of his finger. I mean, the octopus is literally about this big. And all you see is he's holding up like this baby. And it's like, and the sailors somehow misguessed the actual power of the Kraken. You freaking giggled my ass off for about a half an hour. But it was the cutest little teeny octopus. He was about literally that big. Could not have been more than a centimeter long.
Oh, that's interesting. Morgellons look like octopus.
Depends on the type of Morgellons. There is one, and I swear that other people try and say it's biological, and there's no fucking way it has to be some kind of nanotechnology, and it does. It looks like a tiny little, not so much, yeah, I guess kind of like an octopus, but more like a little bubble, hexagonal bubble with long, spindly legs. Yeah, we have a lot of octopi around here, around Malta and Gozo, and if you know how to dive, where to look for them, they're always around. They're very cool.
Am I going all robo for you? Because you are for me.
You've been pretty, audio-wise, pretty stable on my side.
Okay. But anyway, the whole point of all of this is, it does, I've been saying pointy end of the stick for a while now, and it's just getting sharper and sharper. But it does look like we're really at a point now where everything is being absolutely made transparent. Everything is being integrated. And released. And it's going to get, I think what we're calling the Mandela effect is just going to go off the charts as things just get weirder and weirder. There seems to be more and more experiences of people having what we're calling Mandela type effects or glitches in the matrix in their personal lives. That's happening more and more. That everything from their surroundings completely changing to, just for a moment, to that feeling that we've talked about, where it's almost like you're having your dementia moment because you just don't know where you are. I think that could well be an integration moment, and that other aspect of you is like, I don't recognise any of this. And then it sort of settles down.
How about klutz moments?
Oh, yeah, those two.
Klutz moment, like extreme klutz, walking into walls, tripping over the floor.
The spins, the intense, almost like severely drunk spins. You just cannot walk straight, and there's no reason for it. Comes out of nowhere. Can often leave just as fast. People who have no concept for it, this is what we're finding though. You don't have to, it's people who have got no concept of what's going on, who are having the same experiences. So it is wake up, kicking or screaming if need be. And I think that's why a lot of people are losing their shit, is because they don't have any context for what's happening to them. They don't understand what's going on with the people around them. They don't understand the physical things that they're going through. They don't. People, what did you say that? No, hang on, it wasn't you. Ben said that apparently there are mental hospitals in America are having an extraordinary number of people present. One theme apparently
having themselves committed.
One thing apparently is that they're all claiming to be from the future, and they've come back to change the whole, or assassinate Trump, or change the whole Trump timeline. That's apparently a common one. But
so they're not Jesus anymore.
No, they're from the future.
They're from the future, and they're here to assassinate Trump. Okay.
But there's more and more people presenting at mental hospitals. There's more and more people presenting at hospitals in general without and being put through a battery of tests, and no one can find anything wrong with them. So yeah, it's just getting a little bit crazy out there, and I'm not surprised to hear more and more people saying, "Oh yeah, I don't leave my house anymore. I don't want to go out there. I just don't want to go out there because it's fucking nuts." And somebody I know on just last few days was driving in her car, got to an intersection, and the light went green, but she didn't move because this town is known for having people run the lights right at the end, run the red lights. So she gave it a couple of seconds. No one was there. She pulled out. Car came flying through to the point where she could point the driver out in a lineup. She said he was right there. There was no way he was missing her. And then the next thing, she was here, and he was over there, and he slammed on his brakes over there. And she was on the ramp that she was aiming for and had to pull over and just went. That happened to someone else years ago. I've heard similar stories over the years. But she said there's absolutely no way she was getting out of that. And yet she's not. She was out of that.
And yet she did.
And yet she did. So was that a, different? Oh, not on this timeline, you don't.
Yeah. No. You're here for the duration. Just.
What did you? a lot of people are getting taken by crocs up here in far north Queensland. Really? Are they all tourists or is it Australians as well? 'Cause it's usually.
Okay, I was just going to say something really terrible. I'm not saying it.
Aussies lately.
Aussies getting eaten by crocs.
Apparently tourists don't take our signs very seriously. When we say don't go in the water, there are crocs. They go, oh, it'd be fine just to stand here and have a photo. It's not.
Yeah.
If you see a do not go in the water, there are crocodile sign and you're in Australia, take note. Please follow the sign.
Well, my grandmother was a typical Canadian snowbird that would go to Florida every winter and did 3 months in Florida every winter. So we used to go drive down to Florida to see grandma over the Christmas break at school. And it's the same thing. She lived very, very close to where all the crocs are. And there are signs everywhere. They're like, stay on the sidewalk. Because she lived right next to a nature preserve, like it was actually a bird preserve. And there was a big river and the whole thing. And there were signs everywhere saying, do not leave the sidewalk, stay on the sidewalk. And there was a golf and country club that was like right there next to where she lived. And there were huge signs that were like, do not go near the water hazards. Stay on the fairway. And it never failed. The people just, there were crocodiles everywhere. I mean, just everywhere. And I can remember at one point my dad talking about, he went down, he on the golf course, knocked a ball. And he didn't think it didn't go in the water. It was real close to the water. And he was like, I should be okay. And he got to about 20 feet from the water hazard. He looked at it, and there was like this 15-foot long croc right on the lip going into the water, sunning himself. And my dad was like, yeah, I'll take the stroke. No, I'll just drop a ball over here.
Tracy, sure. Which one is it? Tracy. Right, where'd you go? Okay.
What?
Tracy, you're unmuted.
Hello, ladies.
Hello.
How are you both?
Good, thanks, love.
Jolly good. Just a quick funny story. Last week I started a college course and it's about adult mental health. Oh, that's serious.
Good timing.
Great time to be in mental health. Yeah.
The funniest thing was, though, there's a skeleton in the corner of the classroom. Following on from last week's conversation, I put my hand up and I said, did you know all of these things that are changing in the human skeleton? And everybody looked at me and I said, no, apparently there's holes here and here and we've got this bit stuck onto our sternum. So they were all looking at this skeleton. I said, have you lot not heard of the Mandela effect? By this time I thought, yeah.
Oh my God, you're a troublemaker.
Oh, seriously. So the tutor, she looked at me. She was like, right, I'm going to have to research this. She said, lunch break. She came back and she said to me, you're a freak. I said, did you research it? I have got everybody in that class mad now. Have you not heard about this? No, the timeline's not my reality. I am now officially the crazy lady wherever I go because of you two.
Tracy, I love you. I love you so much.
Even in your mental health class, that's what I love. That part.
I'm spreading the word. Right, I shall let you get on, lady.
Click the link to the special that did. The rabbit hole starts here. And just write it on, have a little card and be like, in case you're interested.
This is the scary thing, though. What do I tell? Because I swear to God, I'm sure college security will come and cut me off if I tell them too much. How much do I tell them?
Contact me after hours for consultations. Get cards printed up for consultations after school hours. Here you go. I can be reached at this email address.
Oh, dear. Lovely listening and seeing to you ladies anyway.
Thanks, love.
Thanks, Trace.
Thanks a lot. Take care.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Go in and bust the mental health of the mental health workers. I love it.
Yeah. Make the mental health worker lose her fucking mind. Tracy's losing her shit now. She's picturing it. She's picturing it on this one. I go,
Okay, we've got a few people unmuted. I'm just gonna have to mute all for a sec. Okay.
no, I can't control it.
And we've got Matt with his hand up as well. Matt, you're on. Oh no, you're not. You just disappeared on me. Here you go.
It's a Mandela effect.
Where's he going?
I don't see any hands up.
No, it was, but then there he is. Matt.
Hello.
Hi, darling. You're
Hi,
gonna have to
Matt.
talk up though.
Okay, sorry, I've been lurking for many months, watching your show. It's brilliant.
Thanks, love.
The point I want to make is, it's you kind of tuned off from emotions, and I've noticed that from my friends who've turned off from emotions.
Turned off is not quite what I'm talking about, but what do you mean by turned?
No, waiting in the waiting room. But I've got friends like that too. But
What about you?
I think I'm so much of an empath, but I'm not in the waiting room. I don't think I will ever be in the waiting room, and it scares me.
Why do you think that?
So many emotions, but I can't shut off.
Okay, a couple of questions. Why would you think you wouldn't get there first?
Because I can't shut off.
Because you
I
can't.
can't be that zen, but I can go to that zone where I can be turned off from Matrix. Because I'm so switched on to the Matrix. But
Well, there's plenty of empaths that I would say are in that space, that waiting room space, and it's more of a detachment as a
But I
byproduct.
can't
But
detach. I would love to detach, but I can't detach. I'm part of it, and I'm stuck there.
you feel stuck.
Yeah.
It actually sounds like you might be in the veil, right in one of what I call the void, to be honest, because that's sort of the start of that. There are so many empaths that I can connect you to that can help you if you're
I
interested.
appreciate that. I really would.
Look me up on Facebook.
I'm a very emotional person. It's I've got. I feel stupid by saying this, but I'm my energy is always emotional, and
Okay, couple of things. Do you feel, when you say emotional, do you feel like it's heart chakra stuff? Or is it deeper than that?
deeper.
Okay. If you look me up on Facebook, I'll help you out by putting you in touch with a couple of empaths who would love to support and make some suggestions for you and things like that.
Okay, thank you.
Matt, are you in the unfuckers room?
No,
Okay.
I've been following you guys for months now since I found out about the Mandela effect, but I've never reached out because I'm pretty shy, if I'm being honest.
We'll get you over that, don't you worry. Come on into the unfuckers group.
And yeah, don't confuse being detached with not feeling anything.
Exactly.
That's not what I mean.
No, that's not the problem. I feel too attached. I've got friends now I'm speaking to who were part of the Matrix, who are now like getting away from it, but I'm more than ever like attached to it, and it's hard. It's like I'm like snared into it.
What are you attached to in the Matrix? Can you define, like, for yourself, and you don't have to talk about it openly here, but if you can, what is the attachment? Is it a lot of people? It's fear, right?
Sorry,
like fear.
1 second. Someone named Maggie just said, "Are you from Wolverhampton?" And I'm kind of near Wolverhampton, so spot on there, Maggie. That's weird, freaky. Anyway. So
What I was just saying is, a lot of people, it's the fear of the unknown. What's the expression? Better the evil you know. And I think there's a lot of people who are holding
Curtis
on.
Stafford, sorry. There's so many people in this group. It's like local to me. It's so weird. Sorry.
Well, you got to come into the Unfuckers group. You got to come into the Unfuckers group because we got
me. I will join.
Oh, shit. Well, you got to send me a friend request on Facebook.
I will do. Sorry.
Danny Arnold McKinney. There you go. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people I've talked to, when you actually start digging through as to why they can't let go, is it comes to fear. And like I said,
I have a lot of fear.
Fear of what?
Exactly.
Fear of letting go of like the reality I'm in. I don't know. I'm so scared. I'm so scared. I know logically in my head, I know, but like shit's going down. Nothing makes sense anymore, and I know, but realities. I see like things as well, and I feel things, and I know this, but what do I do about it? Seriously?
It's hard to let go of the known in order to just step into the unknown, because there's nothing concrete there for us to grab onto. You know, when you say goodbye to the Matrix,
and it's scary.
There's nothing there to grab onto. I get it.
But it's the scariest thing ever. It's like everything I know about my life up to date is a lie. And we do live in this matrix. And why are we here in the first place? Why have they put us here? Why? I'm sorry, but...
Okay, so here, this is the problem. Sometimes we can get lost in the questions that are so fucking big. Like, they become so big and they call each other, and then the next question until it's this massive mountain. One thing that I talk about is, and I've said this, for example, about the Mandela effect. I've talked about this on various things. Once you do these things, there's certain changes that happen in your life, right? Obviously, in the fact that you know that the government's corrupt. Obviously, you know the fact that, you know, say taxes are illegal, birth certificates, straw man, all this fucking bullshit. Does it change your life? Does it change this moment right now that you know it? The fundamental level, it doesn't. Yes, you know it, you are aware of it, and you can live in that. You can live in that fear. You can live in that, as I talk about, you know, you can live in the Alex Jones moment where you can just be perpetually angry. But the reality of it, does it change you in this moment, right? Everything that you know, you're still you.
Yeah, but
you're still you.
I've never changed, but everyone around me is changing. That's what worries me.
Well, yeah, okay, but this is just it. I mean, as everyone, this is kind of the stuff that we're talking about, though, is the fact that with these energies are flowing, people are changing, and sometimes, like, if they're losing their marbles because of some of the insanity that's going on around us. People get emotionally charged, etc. But in the changing, you yourself, even if you're an empath, I get it. So you go and let's say you're dealing with something that's your best friend is going through a horrific experience, and you can get caught up in the pain, the sadness, the depression, etc. Okay, but it's not yours. You can get caught up in it, or you, as an empath, can stand back and you can put kind of like a little bit of a wall up, your barrier up, that you can help your friend through it without dragging yourself into it and becoming emotionally incapacitated.
How though? It's really hard. I don't know how
It's
to do that.
hard. I know. Listen, some people, it's fucking a lifelong journey to learn how to, but yeah, blocking it. And it's learn to identify, this is not mine. This isn't mine. And learning to identify it and go, okay, I'm feeling this overwhelming sadness. And you go, has my dog died? No. Has my mother been run over by a car? No. Have I just lost my job? No. Wait, okay, this is not my sadness. This is external. And then you can kind of visualize it however you want to. For me, it's like I say, I have the big doors. And I literally, in my mind, as I've got the big doors, and I'm like, this is not mine. I don't need this overwhelming me, and I can close the doors on it. And put it there and just be like, okay, I can deal with it now. So if it's my friend's sadness, I can sit with them, I can help them deal with it without taking it on. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. But it's harder. It's hard for me.
Honey, I get it. Honey, trust me. Everyone here, Lisa gets it. I get it.
I know you do.
90% of the room all get it. And you need to get into the unfuckers room and have some conversations. Trust me. Because we got a whole lot of people in there who all get it.
I kind of get it. I do get it. I've been watching these shows for like months now. But for me personally, it's hard. Especially when like...
It's hard.
It's kind of like... I've got a life like where I acknowledge like I'm in a matrix and I know this is happening and I'm cool with that. But I've got my real life with my family and friends and I see them changing and it hurts. And that's what I mean. It's like, seriously.
It hurts because you think they're changing and you're not.
Yes. Exactly.
Or how about if it's the opposite? Exactly. I agree with Lisa.
I'm changing, they're not.
No, I'm not necessarily saying that you're changing and they're not, but you clearly are changing because here you are saying you're super shy, you don't reach out, and here you are reaching out on a live show with 242 people. So that's changed.
Yeah.
You're able to express what you're feeling and how difficult it is. And yeah, it could be that you've changed, so you're seeing them differently. It could also be that they're changing. I do believe...
Lisa, my sister is like a different person now. She's not my sister for years. It's like...
But that's a two-way street. That's a two-way street in the sense of you only have to change a little bit and she looks completely different.
No, but
I'm saying it's a two-way street. I'm not saying she hasn't changed, but I'm saying it's a two-way street.
No, but I don't even. I mean, I have flipped through a different dimension, and she's not the same person.
Oh, you're going that far.
Yeah. Oh, darling. Yeah, we've all been there.
My sister is not my sister. It's not the person.
Mandela effect different.
No.
Not my timeline different.
Exactly.
Yep. Totally different person. I don't know who you are. Okay, yeah. But okay, and I get that it hurts. I've been so through this. But there's a choice that you make. And I know it sounds really, really cold, but it comes back to that whole thing. Can you change it? No, you can't. Then you allow yourself to hurt on it. If you're going to allow this to bring you down and be so devastated, then you're not helping yourself. And it's kind of like the whole adage in the airplane, you know, when the oxygen mask falls down and they say, put the mask on yourself first before you help anyone else, because you got to look after yourself before you can help the other person, right? You can be devastated and allow yourself to be devastated by it, or you can work your way through it. And yeah, I'm sorry to say, sometimes you have to accept it. And sometimes the other one will just pop back, which happens.
I have to right back.
Danny, Lisa, you're both right. You're so both right. You're spot on with what you say, but when you're like emotional like I am and like an empath and you can feel like other people's vibrations, day-to-day life is so hard. And even like connecting to your family is so hard. And I know this is part of what's going on, but I just wanted to say, like, it's harder. It's so hard. It's not like easy to like detach, go, you know what, I'm in the waiting room right now and I'm here and I'm waiting for like the next experience. Like people like me, it's so hard. And I know you know this. I just want to like express this. And I'm sorry for people who
say it. No, Matt,
I
I'm
feel
glad that you're
stupid
here.
now.
Listen, no, you should not, because you know what? The one thing we have learned over the months, especially the last couple of months, is when people have come out and talked about these things and they felt this urge to actually talk, they've helped so many other people who will listen to this video, who are here listening live right now, because it helps to know that you're not alone. We had Carl from Canada last week come out and talk on a subject. So many people. I got so many people who were like, thank you, Carl, for coming out and saying this. I needed to hear this. Des from South Africa a couple of weeks ago, same thing. If you feel the urge, then I'm so glad that you're talking about it.
But do you know what I mean? When reality around you is like disintegrating, when you talk about this, it's crazy. And it's not just like the Mandela effect or the Europe. It's not all the changes and all of the political crap that's going on. It's our lives. Everyone's lives is affected by all this bullshit that's going on we can't explain. And that's what really annoys me. It's like, and when people don't even notice this around me, and I feel like I'm so alone, but like, can you not see this? Can you not see this is going on?
How can you not see? The moon just rose on the opposite side of the sky.
Halfway up the earth, and I'm the only one doing this. Am I fucking crazy right now? It's like, what is going on?
I know, hon. I know.
And that's just being a logical thinker, not a bit of an empath that feels like vibrations off people. It's like, and then when you feel, and you can get, and even people that don't even get it, going to the office the next day, you can feel people are like on a, this sounds crazy, but I can feel people are upset even though they don't think they're upset. And because they know there's something going on. People, humans know something's not quite right. They don't acknowledge it. They can't say they're doing it, but that's what it is. I'm so sorry. I'm sounding like a twat right now. Sorry.
No. Listen, I have this massive family. Like, as in biological, I have a massive family. My family's from England, and like I'm Canadian, but my family's in England. We have so much family in England that we can't even get all the family together for a wedding. Like, they just don't make places big enough for like 600 people. So I have this massive family, and I have no contact with any of them. And my family in Canada, I talk to my dad occasionally, and it's always like that very superficial, like, hi, how's it going? Mm-hmm. How was your day? Did you play golf? That kind of stuff. And you get to a point where my family is the Unfuckers. I love our Unfuckers group. That's my family. When I don't talk to my family because they don't understand. They have no fucking concept. I don't talk to my old friends that I went to high school with or who I was doing all the political activism with 10 years ago even, because they don't get it, other than the ones that are already in the Unfuckers room. So it's hard.
Please invite me to the Unfuckers room.
Well, like I said, you got to send me a friend request with a little message saying, it's me. Please add me.
Will do. I'm sorry, but I just like, I had to say something tonight.
Good. Yeah, Cara, my family would have me locked away in a straitjacket too if they could find where I was.
But it is hard. It's so hard. Seriously, what's going on?
Why didn't I take the blue pill?
Yes,
we all have those days. We all have those fucking days. It was like, give me that fucking blue pill. I just want to go back to sleep sometimes.
But
yeah, I know.
In fairness, and with my life, it's like I have to go back to work. I've been going back to work, like looking after the world. It's like, what? It's like, I know everything's a lie. I know that the whole thing is like, I'm in the matrix. I know this, and I think I'm crazy, but you still have to go to your day-to-day routines, and that's what hurts the most. You can't just like go, I know I'm in this fucking weird matrix. I can now like meditate for like 10 hours and like get out of this. What the fuck? Sorry. I'm going to go now. Said too much.
You didn't. You said just enough. And you're going to come into the unfuckers room and you'll have a whole pile of people to talk to who totally get it.
Cool. I'll let you go on with the show, girls.
Thanks, love. And Lisa's manically typing away. I don't know what she's doing. She's writing a book over there.
Yeah, sorry, I'm a bit distracted.
Yeah, well, whole pile of the unfuckers. Up here, I'm going to type in, hold on, my fucking, Zoom, would you just work for me for a second? Come on, just go. Okay, so Facebook is Danny Arnold McKinney. There we go. I can't even type my own name. So there's only one of me on Facebook. You can't miss me. Because I'm dancing about a Rockefeller dying. I can take this ear set out now. Yay, that hurts.
Zero. What happened then? I got a bit. Okay. You're unmuted, Doc.
I see him.
Cool. Just as a fellow empath, I just want to give some quick strategies. First, what I found, I'm hearing feedback.
Did you just unplug your headphones or something?
Yeah, I've unplugged my headphone. My fucking Zoom is a fucking disaster.
Alrighty. Well, I'll just deal with it, I guess. I'm not hearing it anymore. Okay. So as an empath, I found several strategies really help. I find that the number one thing is to go by myself, to center in myself, and really sort out what belongs to me and what doesn't. I find that oftentimes I absorb a lot of things from a lot of different people. I'll even have desires and things that aren't genuinely mine. And so going by yourself in a space that's, just your own really helps to sort out like what you're feeling. And therefore, what's yours and what isn't. And two, just always ask yourself, like, is this feeling what I'm feeling genuinely mine? Another thing too, you can imagine like, there are some strategies of like, imagining a wall around you or a protective barrier. That can be helpful, but I've found what to be easier is to be in a state of non-resistance, like to imagine like a hole or a keyhole in my center and just allow the incoming energy in and allow it to go right back out and back into the other person. Imagining it going in and out at the same time. Also, there's much to be said about, as an empath, we feel other people's feelings, and it can be easy to want to like help other people a lot, but it's really important to focus on getting happy and to kind of sort of fill up your cup first, before trying to help someone else. Also, music can be like a godsend. I mean, it can energetically put you in an amazing place. And I have a playlist that is specifically for like making me happy. And the other thing I would recommend is to find a community of like-minded people who know all these things you're talking about, who know what the term empath means, who know about all this sort of stuff, people you can talk to, because yes, we do have to keep our 3D jobs, our 3D lifestyle, and there are people around us that we can't change, but that doesn't mean that we can't find like-minded people to talk to about. So I would say
being in it and requiring it for now doesn't mean you need to be attached to it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if I were to describe what it's like to be in the waiting room as an empath, yes, I still feel everyone's feelings. Yes, I am aware of all the things going on in the world, but it's more of just an awareness, and I can choose to just continue living my life in the now moment. If you really think about it, all there is the now moment. And you can choose whether or not to let the fact that Trump exists or the fact that all these other things exist, you can choose whether or not to let that totally destroy you, or you can just say, well, it's not really affecting my direct now moment. And just focus on building that up. And also humor is really good, and not taking everything so seriously. And I know it can be kind of disconcerting when you feel like your whole identity and your whole life might be a lie, and what is all this for? And if all this is a construct and all these people, what is my life really about? Yes, that's true in one respect, but it's also true that like you're just here along for the ride, and all this can be happening, but it's not a lie because you're here. And you get to choose how you get to live your now moments. And so whether or not, just like playing a video game, just because when you're playing a video game and it's fake doesn't mean that you can't have fun while you're in it. And sometimes realizing that, it's just a video game, it can be easier to sort of detach from the seriousness of it all. Anyway, those are my 2 cents.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay. I got it. Ouch. I learned a lesson a long time ago when I lived in Thailand, and it was actually before I had any concept of what an empath actually was at all. And it was about allowing to let go of it. Kind of like what you said, and for me it was my feet. And allowing it to just drain out of me. I used to go and put my bare feet either like on the grass, in the sand, somewhere on the ground, and just allow it to just drain out of me. All the emotions that I'd kind of taken on, and just allow it to come straight through. I'm trying, Lisa.
I have something I can add to that. I think it's good because everybody knows I'm a Leo, so I can be pretty direct. My energy can be kind of nuts at times, but I've been imagining it's like a wheel around me, and I'm in the center of that wheel, and I've got all these nodes on the wheel that are my life, that come right behind, one thing after another, and I can completely jump into the node out of the center and then get caught up in getting my ass beat, basically, or I can attach from the center and still maintain my balance. And to me, that has been the most profound thing I think I've learned in the last 6 months. I mean, for me, I just think it's great. So, I don't know, maybe you want to add to that. Love you guys.
You too, Dawn. Okay. Sorry, guys. There was a little bit of a drama going on in the background.
Yeah, sorry. We got distracted. I'm really, really sorry, everyone. Yeah. Finding your tribe. I'm sorry, but finding your tribe is one of those things. That's, even if you're not necessarily right next to someone in real life, like just down the street, but being able to reach out to people online at the very least, and finding people who you can talk to, finding people who you can vent to, who you can express yourself to, and know that they understand. Like, they know what an empath is, and they know what the Mandela effect is, and they know that the world is fucked at the moment, like the holy shit. and they're not going to judge you.
I think we are in a process of transitioning, and I don't know how to say this without sounding all new agey, but to our soul groups, our soul families, we were not necessarily born into those.
No.
Or surrounded by them growing up. So there is a disconnect happening from a lot of families, a lot of relationships, spouses even.
Yeah.
And when you open that space up, you leave space for who you really are connected to come in. And it's not easy. It's bloody painful, because I've had to say goodbye to so many people I love over the years. And it's still happening.
Yeah.
It's happening this week. There's people that I've loved very much that I've had to walk away from. Or they've walked away from me, either way. But every time that happens, somebody else comes in who is so much more, and I'm so much more connected to. So shed a tear if need be, and just open yourself up to connecting with the people that you need to be with at this time.
Yep. I so agree. One day we'll win the bajillion dollar lottery and we'll buy Unfuckers Island, and then there you go. Fuck it.
But everybody's in a different part of this process right now, and some are just starting to get their toes wet. But it's getting faster and faster and faster and faster. It's just exponential. And I can't imagine doing what I've spent just even the last 7 years doing in the months and weeks that some of you guys are going through it. It would blow my mind. And even now, there's never a dull moment. Even now, it feels like it's hard to keep up because something goes down every day. And yet,
I lost my entire weekend. I'm not sure where the weekend went. Next thing I knew, I just woke up and it was Monday, and it was like, it's a show. Didn't I have a weekend? I don't know if I had a weekend. Didn't we just do the show 2 days ago? Didn't we? Fuck. I don't know. Sorry, guys. I'm eating a piece of cake. I'm starving at the moment.
And as far as all the rabbit holes and stuff go, I mean, you go down so many, for me anyway. You just go down so many, and the answer is ultimately always the same at the end. I was lied to. That's ultimately the bottom line is, it's not what I was told. I was fucking lied to. It's almost the inverse or the reverse or the whatever.
Or it's a Mandela effect.
And there's only, I mean, how many times do you need to hear that before it's like, I could go down that. Ultimately, I'm just going to find out I was lied to again. Do I care? So I'm done. I mean, right now, it's a funny observation when it comes to, Mandela effects and who did this and who said that and fucking the Russians did it or whatever. It's just a funny observation as we're on this ride, and some of it I see as confirmation, and that's really all I'm looking for, I guess, these days, is either confirmation that I'm heading in the right direction or something that is contrary enough to get me to look somewhere else, to consider something else, to broaden, my own narrative, so to speak. And that's better. So where do we stand with going home? Well, this goes back to some of these messages that we're getting.
Can I
channeled or otherwise?
Illuminate on the one of them was exactly that message. That this came from a source, like I said, completely not aligned with, the One People show or the Unfuckers or anything. And yes, it was kind of channeled information, although combined with remote viewing. And the outcome is that the construct is already, that new construct, that new base, that new.
What Lilu called Windows 50 version. Is that what you meant?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That new is here. It is here, and it's a matter of being made visible. We can't see it yet, but it's already here, and it's a matter of, it just needs to be made visible to us. Like, and this information came with the same thing of like, we don't know how that's going to look, don't know how it will roll out. It's never been done before, so we don't know the time, don't know. We just know that it's there, it's all set up, it's ready to go, it's literally in the same space that we're in.
So all of these little analogies and metaphors that I use, you know, like spheres and blue cubes and, you know, all this stuff, it's all in the same space, is how it feels to me. But this new reality, for me, is pink, right? That's how it presents. It's presenting as pink. And it makes sense to me in terms of what my 3D eyes can see on the, you know, visible light spectrum. Because within the visible light spectrum, pink apparently is the only colour that doesn't have its own unique frequency. It's something our brains make up. So if it doesn't have an identifiable signature, then it's something that cannot be fucked with, manipulated, tweaked, right? Or even copied, because it doesn't have anything tangible to do that to. And that's how it's presenting to me, as pink. And I'm seeing the evidence of this pink everywhere. People who know that for me it's pink are sending me photographs of pink sunrises and sunsets and clouds and just hues and mists and things. There's pink everywhere. No, it's not all from chemtrails.
Anything, I find the chemtrails are grayish yellow colored, actually, for the most part.
So the flamingo is the new construct.
Flamingo is the new construct mascot. I like it.
But no, I mean, even Lilu, when she first came through, said, we don't know what this is going to look like. And that's what a lot of these messages are saying too, is that it's happening, it's all coming together, but we just don't know what that final moment is going to look like. Mm-hmm. And for once, we don't seem to be in the situation where all the channelers are saying, we've got it covered, you don't have to do anything. Yeah. And this is exactly how it's going to roll out.
Yeah. We've already booked your ascension chamber for you. And a mani-pedi. So yeah, I found it very interesting. I had a long conversation with someone today who I haven't talked to quite a while. Who's been off doing their own thing. And it's someone I used to work with and do a lot of energetic work with back in 2013. And they're seeing a lot of the stuff that a lot of us have talked about, the various things that we saw in Antarctica, various energetic doings that we've seen. Yeah.
Oh, Paddy Broussard saying he's done it all. She has done it all personally. Yeah, I know. There's still a few people who are claiming they've done the whole, you know.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I tried to listen to that latest Paddy Broussard video with Alfred Weber. Yeah, I tried.
I did too. Didn't work. And there's on the YouTube comments for the interview, the latest one I did with JP, there's a few people saying, so who's the one? Who's the one? You know, it's like, we're all Neo. Everyone's Neo. There is no, to me anyway, there is no one. Everyone's Neo and everyone's got their piece.
Yeah. I mean,
Neo from The Matrix.
yes, Neo from the Matrix. That isn't the one.
There is no spoon.
There is. We just ate. Okay, you're gonna find this a giggle. Guess what movie we watched while we were having dinner tonight?
The Matrix?
Matrix. and we actually stopped. It was like you're clearing off the table and people, kids are getting over here and there. And Nick and I stopped everything when we got to the bit where he gets to her apartment and all the little kids are sitting on the floor and the little kid with the spoon. We literally stopped. He was like standing there holding the dishes and just watched that part. It's one of my favorite parts of the movie. Just so there you go. Little synchronicity.
That should be mandatory viewing for this. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is no cake day. Yeah, I agree. Zero. This is an individual inside job and it ends in a collective destination.
Absolutely. Oh, someone posted something in the Unfuckers room today when I was talking about, when I put that post up talking about the shift in the channeled messages. Oh, Charlotte, was it you? I know it was Charlotte who put something in and someone had talked about the fact of it's a universal job, but we're each our own universe. Oh, it was a really, really good quote. I don't even know if I can find it now, but it was really interesting. It was like, yeah, right. We all each run our own little universe reality. So it is an inside job.
Sorry, guys.
You can't get away from in Toronto. They're playing the Matrix movie continuously in Toronto, apparently. That's funny.
Are they?
I can see that movie 100 times. I love it.
What was I going to say about the Matrix though?
There's a new Matrix movie coming out. Did you know that?
Yeah, I heard that was being. Yeah, I heard.
Matrix 4 is coming out.
Well, they haven't even gone into production yet, have they?
I don't know. I know it's not supposed to come out till like, I don't know, 2018, maybe 2019. I'm not sure. Hopefully, we'll already be like whatever beyond that by then.
There was another channeled message that I saw from some blonde guy. And it was all archangels and whatever, all that stuff. I couldn't watch it all. But what I did see was he was saying March 30. This all ends on March 30. But it all sounded a bit threatening. It was
Dun, dun, dun.
choice point, natural disasters, that wipe out all the bots, but not that that's his word. I can't remember what word he used. And then the 31st, it's all brand new, something like that.
As long as it's not April Fool's Day, because I would really be devastated.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but like if this all goes down on April Fool's Day, I have issues.
That would be someone getting a slap.
Yeah, someone would definitely be getting a slap. And since it's my universe and my reality, I'll be slapping myself, so that's okay.
Patty's saying either we move on or we spontaneously combust.
Oh, that's delightful. Yeah, no.
2 out of 3 people the bots are going away. Well, see, this is where the even though there's all these people talking about this narrative of it's a construct, it's coming to an end, and there's something new on the other side, there's still a split even within that narrative of whether we stay here and clean this up or whether we actually go to a new one. So there's that split.
Yeah.
There's
the split about who's responsible, how it got here, who invaded.
And then the why. the why.
The whys, all
Still, this is a school, and we did this to ourselves to come here to learn because we're pathetic little humans who need to grow up. It's a hospital. Earth is a
I
hospital.
haven't heard that one.
Oh yeah, there's a few with that one. Earth is a hospital or a healing realm, and basically all of the damaged dregs of creation come here to be healed.
Oh,
And
okay.
it was kind of like the inmates took over the asylum. Or there's the one I'm inclined to believe, which is that we created it for ourselves, and it got hijacked and invaded.
Yeah.
So even within this narrative, there's multiple sub-narratives.
Well, the conversation I had today, and kind of what I was getting around to, and then I got distracted and couldn't get back to the conversation in the Unfuckers group, was the fact that if you really start, get rid of the descriptive words, get rid of the names, get rid of all the fluff, and just look at the basic points. There's a lot of those basic points are the same. It's how they put it all together, and then the conclusions they draw from it, which come down to whether it's beliefs, their own beliefs. Everyone's got hidden beliefs that are hangers on, or it's their programming, or it's blatant co-opting to try and, like I said, even the whole thing of mainstream media talking about the spin doctorate to fit into their agenda and what they're trying to achieve. I find it interesting. One of the things I tend to forget is that we're in the minority.
I'm not so sure. I mean, this
Well,
idea that there's not as many people on the planet to start with.
No, that's not what I mean. I mean, in the way that we think, like the way that this group thinks and goes through the data and processes is in the minority. So when I see articles come out on the mainstream, for etc., I take it from our perspective. And I go, but then I realize it's like, of course, the people who are asleep, the people who are still in the Alex Jones groups, the people who are still in that archangels and ascended masters groups, etc., they're not going to take it that way at all. And I kind of have to step back a second and go, okay, right, not everyone thinks the way we think. Shit, okay, damn, back up. If I didn't know what I know in my gut, how would I take this? And that's a really hard perspective now. Like, to put yourself in that perspective, if I didn't know what I know, how would I take this news article? How would I take this announcement by, I don't know.
But you can't know what you know. You can't do that.
Exactly. It's kind of a flaw in the computational scheme. Stark raving mad. That's right, Stacy. And yeah, I agree with you. I actually, with what you started to say about the fact that there's a lot more of us. Yeah. A lot more of us than we originally thought.
Okay, well, considering one, they've lied to us about absolutely everything. Why would they be telling us the truth about how many people there are on the planet? Especially when then the figure supports overpopulation and, the need for Agenda 21 or 30 or whatever fuck they're up to.
Whatever number they're at now.
And it feeds all of that. And population control and blah, blah, blah. So there's that. And I'm convinced that there is perhaps even the majority are what we would call bots or background people or missed Agent Smiths or whatever. So if you take a look at who feels real, and then just look at that group, I think we're okay.
Yep. I think we surpassed the 100 monkey thing a long time ago.
Yeah, I do too. I really do. Reptile back.
Tracy says, so funny in class today, the tutor said Queen Elizabeth, and before I could stop myself, the words reptilian baby eating bitch left my mouth. Time to get your brakes checked, love. Maybe. Just for class.
That's an interesting question. Is all of the immigration an attempt to hide low populations in certain countries in Europe? Because
well, listen, here's the thing. I did a whole news special end of 2015 that I opened it up with the joke. Japan, Sweden, Denmark, and Germany, I think, because it was one of the big ones in Europe. So it was like France or Germany. But Japan, Sweden, and Denmark have got such a problem with not enough people, like as in the birth rates are dropping so radically that they, like 20 years from now, they're going to be fucked. Denmark put out an advertising campaign and put together a video, I shit you not, called Do It for Denmark, to encourage people to come to Denmark and have a baby. Please come to Denmark. And Japan is the same. Japan is so bad that they've got like special programs that they're trying to set up just to try and get people to have fucking kids. Because
so how does that gel with we need to reduce the population and control the population?
Exactly. Here's the thing. I mean, like, you've traveled, I've traveled. You go to Bangkok, right? Because you and I have both been to Thailand and spent enough time traipsing around. Bangkok, smash full of people. I mean, it's like,
hate it.
When you get outside of Bangkok, it's not like that. The rest of Thailand is like little villages, and you can go miles upon miles upon miles of just forest and open area. When I was in India, landed in Bombay, holy fuck. But once you got out of Bombay, you get on the train and you go miles and miles and miles, and you didn't, there was villages. Yeah, there's like some big cities, but they're villages. Canada, okay, we've got some big ass cities. You've got the world's first mega city was Toronto. It's a big ass city. But once you get outside of Toronto, you go for fucking miles. I mean, there are areas of Canada that you can drive for several hundred miles between towns. And granted, it's a big ass country. But still, when they try to play this whole thing of like population is so dense, I mean, my uncle's ex-wife was Chinese, and she talked about going home to China. She was born in Thailand, but she went home to China to visit her family. It was like little teeny village, and they were a very, very wealthy, very powerful family. It wasn't like they were peasants.
The room's locked, but Hex is trying to get back in. She dropped.
I don't know if I can unlock the room.
I don't even know how you did it. So
I have magic fingers. Unlock the meeting.
All right, tell her to try now.
Tell Hex to come in right now, and then I'm locking the room again.
Yeah, quick X. What was I going to say? Look, one of the biggest surprises for me was the Opal tour across the states. Australia and the US are pretty much geographically the same size, but they've got something like 12 times the population of Australia, right? And
150 million odd people purportedly.
Yeah, we've got 20 something. right?
Yeah.
I expected wall-to-wall people. And not only was there not wall-to-wall people, there was, we would travel in those RVs for 6 or 8 hours at a time. And it was just countryside after countryside with nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And even in cities or small cities, the malls were empty and there's no one around. It was like, I felt like I was in a post-apocalyptic film half the time.
Yeah.
Where is everybody? Where are these people?
Where are these like 9 billion people that they're hiding? Because I'm telling you, they're not in India. And I have it on friends in China. They're not in China. I mean, Japan, really densely populated. Like, I mean, Tokyo, Hokkaido, places like that. The name is just gone right out of my head. Anyways, big cities, yeah, they're really densely packed. But same thing. I mean, I've got a cousin who lives in Japan, and she lives up in the northern part of Japan in Hokkaido, and you know, they've got a lovely house out in the country. I don't know. It's like you said, they've been lying to us. They've been lying to us. This is the end result is they've been fucking lying to us about everything.
But it also, for those who are waking up and for those who are supposedly conspiracy theorists and truth seekers and all the other little labels they give us, it allows us to feel like we're in such a minority. They push that. They really push that. I don't think we are. Because if you stop people and have a good conversation with them, even if they're, I don't know, Christian, or, I mean, for Christians, they might think that Jesus is just around the corner, the second coming, because they can feel something. They can still feel it. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter what their mindset is for most people, if they're, you know, real humans and not bots, they can feel this is something's coming. And something's coming. And we're not in the minority. I don't believe that anymore.
Well, that's the whole agenda of shutting down all of the small, the off the grid people, etc. This just fucking hit me just this second. The reason why you foreclose on the farms, you get people off the farms, you go to mass farming that's all automated, is to get people in the cities.
Yeah.
Because if you're crammed in a city, then you can convince people that we have an overpopulation problem. But if it's in some little country town where it's hundreds of miles in every direction before you see another town or village or hell gas station, it's hard to convince people that there's an overpopulation problem. But look at Detroit. Detroit's fucking empty now. The last I drove through Detroit in 2012, August 2012. And it was a ghost town. And it's even worse now. Now, that's supposed to be one of the biggest cities in America.
That was because all the industry left, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a ghost town now because all the industry died. So Steel City is, you know, nothing left of it.
China has an entire replica of the city of Paris, and it's empty.
Yeah.
And last I heard, 50% of the
huge, massive ghost towns. China has fucking massive ghost towns.
Yeah.
All over China. We have them in Africa, where they've built entire ghost towns. Well, I mean, they weren't ghost towns, but entire towns, cities
that have never been populated.
Never been populated.
So something's up with that.
Yep.
Oh, Zeta, I don't believe in marriage, but if any of our LMH family seriously wants to move here, I would marry you to get you to New Zealand. And P.S. we have same-sex marriages now, so not a gender-dependent offer.
You know what? It's been an ongoing joke that I'm supposed to start the Unfuckers dating service. I don't know. I don't have time to run it. Sorry, guys.
Do it. Yeah, everyone.
Everyone's like, yes, on Fuckers Dating Service. I don't have.
There actually is one. There is a
Look at this. Everyone's okay, guys. Seriously, really?
Yeah. That's
Everyone's
what
like,
makes me blame. There is actually a web, like a dating service for people who are like conspiracy theorists or awake, or I don't know what term they remember, but
that accepts that apparently I've talked to a few people who've gone on that site and said some people are a little confused about what awake means.
No, right, okay.
That they only have one eye open about that much. They call themselves awake and it's like, oh, darling, come back in 10 years and then we'll talk. So.
Okay. Well, yeah, you might have to do one then, Dee.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm going to rebuild the sites. I'm doing it. Once we get into the new house, once I have the new computer.
Look how many people are in fact single, though.
Yeah.
How many of you have had relationships break down because of this whole waking up process? Me.
Yep, single. Me. Yes. Yep.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my God.
Not yet, in capitals. Like it's on the verge.
Hang in there, Carl. Come on.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that that new Unfucker site that I'm going to build, it may have to include a dating service somehow. I don't know. A dating.
Do it.
Yep.
And I know a lot of people are choosing to just stay single because it's just so much easier than trying to go through this with somebody. And it is. I mean, it is. Yeah. When the person that you love and trust the most is looking at you like, should I make that?
You're fucking insane.
I'm going to make that.
What the hell are you talking about? What are you ranting about this time?
If you've managed to walk this path with someone, I think you're very, very lucky. And some people are starting to now, or over the last year or so, have met that person that they can walk this path with after, having to lose a very long-term relationship. But this is part of that transitioning to our soul groups. I don't like that word, that term. I don't know what else.
I was just going to see that. I was just like, it makes my skin, look, you're rubbing your neck. I'm like going, oh, it makes my skin crawl. You know what? Listen, we did a little experiment. Was it 2 weeks ago on the show? We were talking about doing a map so everyone could kind of see and find people near to them. And we tried it. And unfortunately, it was a public thing because it was a public service. And then someone shared it outside of the room. And hang
on. I had a problem with this because we announced that map on the One People public on this show, which is public. Yeah. So for me, that was public. It was for the whole One People audience.
It was the way it was
exclusive.
People thought it was just the Unfuckers group, i.e. a locked group where they feel that they can say, hi, it's Danny Arnold and I'm in Malta and so that was the problem. There was you're dealing with fucking Facebook then, right? And you're like, not that they don't know anyway. Yeah. So, but that is something that I want to do, and that's when I start trying to move over and get the new site kind of integrated. One of the things I want to do is have an area where people can go and have a meetup, and it doesn't mean hook up, but a meetup where you can find people who are local to you. So it's like, if you need a babysitter, you can find another unfucker to help look after your kids. If it's after, or if you need someone who can help you do some odd jobs in that, you can find an unfucker to come help you do those odd jobs if you need help with it. So, yeah.
I mean, if it's going to be for this audience, then it shouldn't be exclusive to
No.
Anything.
And that's what I want to do. That's kind of where I want to go, but I have to, I have to get a working computer. This one died on me twice this morning. Right, Lisa? One time right in the middle of trying to talk to Lisa. And a place where there's not continuous construction around me.
Yes. Anyway,
I
guys,
think Lisa's sick of trying to talk to me and scream over top at the sound of the jackhammers.
it's not fun. It hurts my ears even from all the way over here.
Yeah.
Yes, some people would say I'm already married to my computer too, then.
Yeah, me.
All right, guys, we're going to go.
Yep.
Been a weird one, but see you next week.
Yeah, because
And
we don't
reach
do
out. What was his name?
Matt.
No, it wasn't Matt. Was it? Was it Matt?
Yeah.
Okay. Reach out on
Okay.
Facebook, Matt.
Yes. You'll find me.
Bye.
Bye, guys.